What's good, peeps? Welcome to an Indefatigable Artist. I am your host, Bleace, just a multimedia artist living in the 21st century. Appreciate you listening. A like, comment, and a share goes a long way. A free way to pay it forward. Can always go further at bleace.com and be sure to sign up to our free newsletter. Let's go further together, one step at a time. Episode 23, Incessant Practice. I'm going to try to do this episode in one take, one microphone, one take today. I don't have time to edit this podcast. I need to bring my best on this. Had a slow start to the day, and I need to just rip this out. And I just realized that this is the 23rd episode on June 23rd, 2023. A lot of 23s. I love synchronicity in numbers like that. Definitely did not plan that, and had to double check that was even right when writing it down. But this week was a big one. A lot of events. June 21st, Wednesday, was the 4th annual Bleace Day. And I have to say, it was honestly the best one we have ever had. I truly can't express enough how much that meant to me. And I want to just reflect on that here in this episode a bit to put it into perspective. Not only from, the first time stepping into Decentraland in October 21 to now, but going further back. And I want to go back kind of one step at a time to show how long it's been before something like that happened. So this was the 4th annual Bleace Day. It's a celebration of publishing my first novel, June 21st, 2019, the day I self-published my first novel, and also recreated what is now still my website, made the change from WooCommerce to Shopify and had to build the entire website from scratch, learning it on a new software, something that wasn't expected. But my old website was built on a bunch of coding I didn't understand, nor did I have the time to learn it. Yet it was having that first website where I learned just how much work it was to keep up and how it was constantly needing to be updated and changed. So that was a step in the right direction, and had to take another step to get it where I needed it to be for myself. As an artist in the 21st century, it's like we're forced to wear many hats and we have to do a multitude of things, and we have to use software that is best for our workflow. And I felt like Shopify was that. And, but it's learning, it's trying, it's being hands-on. Incessant practice. The point is to say that everything becomes a learning experience. Constantly learning. And sometimes those lessons take years. It's not just in one classroom sitting or one semester trying to cram. Another exam, better cram it all in. Another test, better do your best. But we can't be at our best all of the time. We can set our intentions the best we can, and still, life is going to be constantly testing. Incessantly testing every single day. There will be a test from the moment you wake up to the second you fall deep. Conscious goes away deep, far back in the brain, where your conscience now looks like a speck of grain. Is this another dimension of reality? Why can I remember everything so clearly? I think of the film Avatar when he goes to sleep in the world. He comes back into another dimension of space and time as a different avatar, a dream within a dream within a dream. It's not all what it seems. Who deemed humans smart enough to understand it all? How much of what you stress about is simply made up? Live the dream. What's in your dreams? Is it all what it seems? Here on earth, in this realm of reality, I have moments in the dream wake state where I mentally go back and forth. Chemicals in my brain are still squirting. I feel this pull and I can see this other place. I can feel it physically pull my body. There's a physical weight to these thoughts. It's like I can see two actors playing a part. How can a part of me think of this? How can it come up with this? When you look into a person's eyes, can you not see an infinite universe? Think of what it took to make that individual. We overlook and take for granted so often how perfect the conditions had to be. Every day at 1, 2, 3, my daily gratitude alarm goes off. I not only take this time to remind myself that I have to take a step back, it's more than just saying you're grateful for this or that. And each day I try to be really specific. I'm very mindful of who I'm talking to and who I'm around when that alarm goes off. And I've done this for the past couple of years now. I'd have to look back and see exactly when I started doing it. It was early 2021, February or March. So after my heart surgery and when I was going back to work, having severe panic attacks, a couple steps away from a heart attack, heart would be beating out of my chest. I would black out. And once that happened while driving down the highway. So I went to a therapist. I had talked to several before throughout my life, and she recommended a list of videos and books, uh, different authors. She had a whole list, and there was one in there that really stuck with me. And I watched the video once, and I just played it like 3 or 4 times. Dr. Joan Rosenberg. So I saw this video and I immediately looked up the person and found her book, 90 Seconds to a Life You Love. Bought it immediately, received it a couple days later, and immediately dove in. And while I was reading it, I came across her story about someone setting this daily gratitude alarm at 1, 2, 3 every day. How that person would use that as a reminder to take a step back and be present in the moment and be grateful that you're still experiencing this moment. Um, it's not living in the future. It's not living in the past. It's right here in this moment. It's easy to get caught up from one situation to another. It feels like you're just going one fire after another. You get into a heated argument, anxiety about the future, depression from the past. This daily alarm is a way of stopping the noise, being fully present, recognizing that we all have what she says are 7 difficult emotions that every being deals with in life. She talks about riding that 90-second wave of emotion. These emotions are powerful and they carry with them chemicals that get stimulated in the brain. And there's this wave where we feel like we're out of control for a bit. And you just have to ride that and let those chemicals course through, and they dissipate, after 90 seconds, you know. Um and you let that 90-second wave occur without acting out. And this is where the incessant practice is, because it's so hard. And, you know, I struggle with it too. And like, out of the seven difficult emotions, anger and frustration are my top two that I deal with. And she calls them unpleasant feelings, and I'll list them here: anger, frustration, helplessness, sadness, embarrassment, shame, and vulnerability. So at this 1, 2, 3 daily gratitude alarm, I pause and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. On this first release, and right here's my alarm going off right now. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna screenshot this. 1, 2, 3 on June 23rd. It's going off now. Okay. I think this is the first time. Usually I record these earlier in the day, but today I was a little slower. It's been a long week. Um, so that's my daily 1, 2, 3 alarm going off right now as I'm recording this podcast. The 23rd podcast, episode 23, on Friday, June 23rd, 2023. So many things have lined up for a week like this. And I just am right now taking a step back and being so grateful for everyone that was a part of Wednesday, and just expressing how grateful I am in this episode, and will do so in future streams and blog posts as well. And so what this episode today is looking back and what's helped me get to this point, and the profound effect that this daily gratitude alarm has had on my life. Getting me over panic attacks. I mean, it's a multitude of things, but it's this incessant practice, and this daily alarm keeps me going. Days that I don't want that alarm to go off, when I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to reflect. I don't want to take the deep breaths, but practicing it and giving it time. And it's doing this now for 2 years. A feeling that change, and it occurs over time. And it's upon reflecting every day that you start to see things in a broader perspective. So on this first release, I say the words in my mind and sometimes out loud. I'll breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, saying the words anger and frustration. I let out those emotions. I see them. I recognize them. I see their value to my life, and I recognize why I biologically have them, as they could one day save my life. But they do not control me. I have control over them. I can choose to act on that emotion as it arises, or I can choose to pause and wait. Not every action deserves your reaction. The hardest truth I ever had to face is realizing that not one single person ever made me angry, I chose to be angry through that person's actions. Whether they're right or wrong, or you're right or wrong, if you choose to let that person anger you, you choose, and I'm speaking to myself here, that I chose to act out in anger. I chose to let that person anger me and let me do those things. I did those things. No one to blame but my decision to do that. It's a hard fucking truth to face. And the ego will deflect and 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 deflect. And it's a fucking everyday incessant inflection and deflection, inflection, deflection every fucking day. It's incessant. Every day is a test. Every single day, every single day, every single day will break you down and break you down and break you down and break you down and break you down. And that's why Bruce Lee says, be water. Water conforms, water changes, water moves, water adapts instantly. Water adapts, changes form. How much water do we have in our minds? How can we continue to adapt and change to our ever-changing environment? It's incessantly changing. That's the only constant there is. This is a practice. I can't emphasize it enough. Every single day is a test. It's never going to stop. It's incessant. This is the way of gravity and energy. It cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Ride that wave, ride that energy, feel it deeply and let it go. Hold on loosely. We aren't here for a long time, so be here for a good time. You have the choice. We're all products of our environment. You can sit there and constantly point at the problem. What are you going to choose to do about it? What can you do about it? Can you do anything about it? Can you control the weather around you? No, you cannot. So what can you choose to do about the weather? It's raining on your parade. Dance anyway. It's rained on your picnic. Lay back and let the raindrops hit you. What are you going to do? Melt? What are you going to let it do? Turn your mood down? You can't control that. You can control how you react to that. Ride that energy. Feel it. Love it. It's a momentary glimpse. And it all becomes part of the story. It all becomes part of your character. It's a practice every day. You don't just do this once and say, well, why didn't it work? It's not spraying WD-40 on it and saying, oh, it doesn't squeak anymore. No. Oh, I tried that a few times and it didn't work. It's not a light switch that you can just turn on and leave on. The bulbs burn out. You have to change them. They get too hot and they pop. You have to give them a break from time to time. You have to care and tend to those lights and those light bulbs. Even if you were a computers need rest too. They can't be on all the time or they burn out. They burn out quick and have to be replaced. They need software updates and antivirus vaccines, just like humans do. It's a practice, like walking, like waking up every day is a practice. Being conscious every day is a practice. We grow tired of being conscious all the time, so we distract with various substances. Doesn't have to be drugs. Images are substance. Sound is substance. Always exceptions, but for the majority, including myself, that's true. Incessant explorers Why would anyone else? Why would anyone want to take an unregistered submarine to see a shipwreck on the bottom of the seafloor? Back to this daily gratitude alarm that went off during this episode. I take 3 deep breaths. On this second release, I hold it for as long as I can and just be as present as I can. And on the second release, I say the words helplessness and sadness. I let them go. I get their weight off my shoulders. I don't let sadness wash over me, take me out to sea where I have no control over the tide. No, I swim to shore and watch this beautiful sunset, relaxed on a picnic blanket, drinking mead, taking life one breath at a time. With this surgery, with these head concussions, I feel I have died multiple times, gone to another reality for brief, momentary glimpses, and have to come back to this reality. So therefore, for a long time, since that first head concussion, I have not feared death. I have let that go too. I hold no fear of it. That's why I've tried so many things in my life. Been a daredevil for a time. If I can think it, I'll do it. Many broken bones later, many head concussions later, I'm here. What will happen and couldn't happen any other way. And on this third deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, I say the words embarrassment, shame, and vulnerability. I embrace vulnerability. I grow from it. I woke up today with that simple act. I'm already more resilient than the day before if I choose to see it. Everything we perceive is a choice. You can take the same picture of an object over 1 billion different ways. What you see won't be what I see. Where you see vulnerability, I see strength. Where you see sadness, I see the happiness that was once there. And now you think that happiness is lost because that person is gone. Be grateful that it was. Be grateful that it happened. Be grateful that you're still here to reflect on that happiness, to see it for what it was. A momentary glimpse in time that will never happen again. And that's the beauty of it. You're still here, this beautiful, individualistic energy. What's your embarrassment? That sting? That false sense of self? It happened. So what? Did you die? Did you do something that embarrassed not only yourself, but someone else? And now they won't talk to you anymore? Fuck them. Concentrate on the ones who are still with you through the highs and the lows, still with you on this journey, who choose to share momentary glimpses of this journey with you. Through the highs and the lows, the journey goes up and down. And the lows bring me back to 2009, when I first started on this blissful journey. This one word that came to me in the middle of the night, hit me right in the core of my mind. I awoke and wrote it down on the first sheet of paper I could find, a small yellow one. Bleace. What did it mean? Reality and dreams. What is in between? Normal. What is it? In a foreign being's eye, I may not be fit from 2009 to 2019, obsessing over the word, pushing me to learn more about the universe and the world around me. This thirst of knowledge consumed me and continues to this day. Bleace, noun, potential energy stored inside the chemical makeup of every living creature in the universe that, once recognized and harnessed, can be kinetically unleashed through passionately positive, creative acts that do not directly or indirectly harm others. Writing, photography, painting, directing, acting, designing, cooking, or being a flaneur. Example, after the boy learned to harness his bleace, he was able to unleash it through writing. In my mind, I had it going a certain way. I had a plan, and the universe laughed. The universe has a plan too, one of pure chaos. The only constant is change. How we adapt to this incessant change is adapting. And to adapt quickly takes practice. Be water. Practice every single day. How fast can you change your state? Going from a gas to a liquid to a solid. Will you mess up? Sure. Will you always be at your best? No. But you're still here. You're still able to learn and get better. And that's all that matters for your universe. When I rose from that hospital bed, I knew I was forever changed, that I was going to carry this out if it were the last thing I do. I don't care if I starve to death. I'm not going to live in fear by working somewhere that I despise and I'm just another pawn waiting to be replaced. I feel I'm here for a reason, that there is a reason this energy is coursing through me, that I have a voice and a message that I want to spend my days spreading and practicing. Incessant practice. That I feel the lessons that I learn and I continue to go through and I continue to fail and I continue to have my failures, that I recognize those failures and those momentary lapses of judgment. I'm going to make a choice to continue practicing, to help make a more emotionally intelligent place. And so often the ego goes to nicotine, it goes to liquor, it goes to something to distract it. It doesn't get talked about enough. It's hard truths you have to face. It's looking in the mirror and saying that perfection is a state never reached, but I'm going to do the best that I can. That it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel helpless. You'll grow from it. It's not, suppressing those emotions. It's not saying you can't cry, you can't show this emotion. That's suppression. A more emotionally intelligent place. You have this fixed mindset. Be water. You have this fixed mindset in saying, no, I'm a fucking ice cube. And if I'm not an ice cube the whole time, I'm not going to change and adapt to being a liquid or being a gas, even though my environment is forcing that upon me. I'm not going to change and adapt to that. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to sit here and melt little by little. But I'm going to cling on to this thought that I'm an ice cube and I'm not going to change and adapt. No, it's an incessant practice. How much of what you're stressing about is an illusion, isn't real, that won't give you one more breath. It won't give you one more heartbeat. To make this a more emotionally intelligent place, one that can come up with more creative solutions to the problems we all face. To do that is going to take practice, incessant practice every single day. Am I perfect? What is perfection? A state never reached. Do I make mistakes? Yes. Do I own them? Always. Judge me. That is your choice to make. I will carry on, continue to do so until my last breath. I have set my intention and will continue to reset this intention every single day I awake. What I saw on this last Bleace day is a culmination of that practice. Handing out 100 different wearables to 100 different people from around the world was truly magical and special. Web3 is this digital Pangea that is bringing the world together unlike any other time in human history. To see the energy I have put out resonate with others in countries I have never been to before has really blown me away. What I saw on Wednesday felt like it was 14 years in the making. I truly didn't want it to end. I soaked in every second of that moment. I was truly emotional at the end of that 12-hour live stream. I tried to capture all of that moment as it meant so much to me to see everyone not only come out, but wear my first ever wearable that I published. And with this new endeavor, I know I may have lost a lot of people who have known me for a long time. They may not understand what blockchain technology is or why proving ownership over a digital asset is of any value. But I, along with some other early adopters, can see the vision. And I've been venturing in Decentraland since October 2021. And I've met a number of beautiful souls from around the globe at these virtual events and virtual concerts that we all attend together. And I didn't promote this event on Bleace Day to my Facebook fam or on Instagram, as this is something new and it's something I've been posting about for 2 years and no one's really cared about it on those platforms. So I just left it alone and focused on the ones who are in this new virtual space with me. Um, I myself am coming into this space as someone who has designed fashion for my own photo and video shoots. I really like designing women's workout clothes like leggings and yoga mats, crop tops, bikinis, sports bras, etc. And so I have for a long time been fascinated by digital fashion. And what makes this new virtual space, this spatial computing, so interesting is the presence you feel with others. And one of the main aspects of that is the variations in fashion that people use to express their own individuality. And it's in this creative spirit and having such a deep veneration for this universe, I try to do something new every Bleace day. For example, last year I put out my first poetry album, an audiobook. The year before, I tried to publish the sequel Bleace Paradox on the same day as I published the first novel Bleace, but global pandemic pushed everything back. But after 2 years in Decentraland, I finally published my first wearable, made in collaboration with the DCL Baby Dolls and founder Tang Poco, who is the first official supermodel of the metaverse. So to be able to work with them on this is again, this journey that we've been on. I've been partying in the metaverse with them for over a year now, and I have so much respect for Tang and everything she does in the metaverse. I was very inspired. I wrote a blog post about that, about the dollhouse last year, just because I am so inspired by everything they're doing. And so it was like a full circle moment, that party on Wednesday, to go from like just meeting them to then having a Wag Me Bleace party. Just, it's head spinning. So we had a huge party at Dollhouse in Decentraland, and they have had a party every Wednesday for over a year, every week having a virtual concert where people from all over the world show up to watch this live stream of a musician, which for WAGMI Bleace was none other than Shark Anthony, who did an awesome live performance singing to beats he produced. It's really special to have him perform for at WAGMI Bleace, an OG in the space. We go way back and have collabed on other projects. And the beat to this podcast comes from one he created for a poem that I recorded and am still working on. But this is just like a 8-second beat from that, and still working on that. TBD. It's one of those projects where you have a vision and you just don't realize how much it's going to take to pull something like that off. But again, learning. You know, in this virtual space, there's a sense of presence with others that has been lost on the 2D timeline on social media that we see on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And the key to this presence is the ability for self-expression through wearables. And for my first wearable, I created a new Meta Party Vibes color scheme for summer 2023. And like all Bleace apparel, these wearables are about daring to stand out, being seen for your beautifully unique energy that every single individual has. We curate trippy vibes, for life is but a meta party, and your vibe attracts your tribe. The metaverse is whatever you bring to it. And I'm so grateful I've gotten this far in this space and for taking yet another indefatigable step along this storied journey in Web3. And again, I just want to express my sincerest gratitude to everyone who helped make that day what it was. Tank Poco for putting it all together and bringing this idea to life. And I'm also thankful for the surprise at the party, seeing the Bleace fadeaway bunnies that our friend Nainki made. I always write a blog post for these podcast episodes on bleace.com, and we'll put pictures and videos of this event up there. So please go check that out. The images are incredible. I really do hope Facebook fam and Instagram fam go check that out. I will continue to expand on this concept of digital fashion in more detail in further blogs and live streams. And if you have any questions about this wearable or the metaverse in general, please do not hesitate to reach out on any platform at Bleace NFT on all socials. I'm very easy to reach. You can email support@bleace.com anytime. That is best for you. And about the live stream this week, the day after that 12-hour stream, I received an email inviting me to become a Twitch affiliate. So I am now a Twitch affiliate streamer. I've been streaming for almost 3 years now. Again, all part of the journey. So this week has really just been a culmination of all this hard work. And I am just very, very inspired in this moment and can't wait to keep going further. I'm definitely going to be streaming a lot more now. If you have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free with that. You just connect your Amazon Prime to the Twitch stream and it will help support the stream tremendously. I would really appreciate anyone who has a Prime account to do that. It's free. And it just goes to waste if you don't do that. So it's just a free way for anyone who has Amazon Prime to support the stream. But definitely check it out on Twitch at Bleace NFT. Check out the YouTube channel. Over 6 months now of uploading a video to YouTube every single day. That is my minimum for every single day, is to upload a video to YouTube. So we'll definitely be doing that, and we'll be streaming a lot more IRL streams and office streams, metaverse streams into Decentraland and Hyperfi, Spatial. We are multi-meta maxis, so always try to keep it interesting. Shout out Colorful for helping out on the stream as well. Go sub to Colorful Carol on YouTube. She is putting in a lot of work on these new vlogs, so check that out. And, just a friendly reminder that it is free to support artists. A like, comment, or a share does go a long way. So let's go further together. And that was in one take, just like I wanted it. And if this is my last episode ever, and one of those times that will be true. So I want to say it now, because if not now, when? But I just want to say before I go, one last thing. And if it's the last thing I ever say, I want it to be this. Appreciate you listening. Be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and share. It's a free way to pay it forward. Can always go further at Bleace.com and sign up to our free newsletter. Let's go further together, one step at a time.